2, 1, play. Welcome everybody, we are entering to this next game. It is game number 2 of a rather heated best of 3. We are having MYi.FantaSy from intent being the pink Terran in the top right. He is going up against underrated gaming Slush, the yellow Protoss in the bottom left. We are in game 2 of a best of 3. Slush right now is on the verge of taking the entire ESEA clan war into the favor of underrated gaming, and we have FantaSy needing to win 2 games in a row if you're going to have my intent take this victory.
No, definitely. I mean, Slush is in a great spot right now. Honestly, I mean, this is what you want out of your player, you know? He's got the win. He's got, 2 games now to basically close it out. So, and I that's the position I'd want to be in if you're out,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
and
let's see what he chooses to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do something completely cheesy here, like a 4-gate.
He could. I mean, surprise attacks like that are definitely very effective, and plus, it looks like a 1-gate expand, especially if you have FantaSy overcommitting to trying to do things like the eBay block and all that. If he does that and doesn't get a scout into the back of the base to look at things like Chrono Boost energy and everything, a 4-gate could literally just win by complete surprise. And that's a really important factor to take into account, because I've seen a bunch of clan wars where a 4-gate as surprise wins, and people that shouldn't win the games end up winning the game, and it makes rage happen, all that controversial stuff and everything. But it's a very viable strategy, and it's something Terrans have got to be aware of, especially when they face the standard thought process of a Protoss 1-gate expanding.
Oh no, I definitely do agree there. I mean, if I was Slush, I'd do something completely off the wall wacky. Some people in chat are saying 2-gate proxy or something. Because you can get away with something goofy like that. And I mean, if you cause damage, like say he kills 5 SCVs or whatever, honestly, at that point, that paid for itself then.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and just take note of the Chrono Boost energy of Slush and the fact that he's got 1 Chrono saved up. It's very much looking like he's not going to be 4-gating. However, we could very well be seeing the eBay being thrown down, possibly after a command center, because we do have 400 minerals in here for FantaSy. No gases or anything. It's very much looking like we're going to have a command center being thrown down momentarily. But he's going to throw down the eBay before the command center, try and delay this as much as possible. But the SCV does get taken out. And are we going to... Yeah, it's chronoing onto the Zealot out of the gateway to try and get out that eBay. So Slush is looking like he will have a delayed 1-gate expo.
And it's not even a big problem because, his money's not there yet. He's, he's getting things out the way it should be. Just getting some more probes because, I mean, honestly, who stops probe production? You know what you're going to be doing, so probe, and build some more probes while you're at it. And I don't think it's a big delay for him at all.
Alright, so we just said Nexus was thrown down, but look at this. We have no more gases being thrown down by FantaSy quite yet. We have another SCV moving down, but that is... What is that? It's going to be a scout? It looks like it'll be a scout, but we could have... Never mind. I was going to have more racks coming down in a fast, aggressive marine play, but FantaSy did just throw down his double refinery, so we should be seeing add-ons into the factories, some form of factory tech, add-ons being thrown out to the barracks, and some kind of factory tech coming down soon to either lead into some weird tank play, or possibly just perfectly standard medevacs.
I would hope for the perfectly standard medevacs, but that's just the normal.
Yeah, that is perfectly normal. We do see FantaSy has thrown down a single tech lab. He may just go ahead and use that, get his stim up fairly soon, and just work on getting his economy. His natural is now almost done with the orbital command. There's only 2 SCVs mining, but there's a bunker in a very smart spot. This is literally the single most economic bunker you could have for your initial one, and it is going to be enough to pretty much push back any kind of pushing out from Slush into this natural expansion, whether it be from the structural rocks or from the high ground. So very intelligent thing. A lot of people just fall into the default of throwing that bunker into the choke. This is very intelligent.
No, it's great. I mean, Slush doing his job and getting what he needs done. I'm surprised. Most of the time on this map, really, you'd see a 3rd command center already from the Terran.
Yeah, but oh, look at that scan. I think that actually does get to see the robo that was put down. Yep, it sees the robo that Slush did put down, and it looks like Slush is going to be doing the same build that we saw him do on this map against I'm blanking on the name from MYi.FantaSy. He placed McLeod on this map, and he actually did go for his very fast robo with a lot of Colossi, and McLeod was very close to actually winning that decisive endgame battle, except for the fact that he didn't get the spread that he needed or the micro that he needed, got hit by a lot of Colossi, and just barely missed out on getting that victory. Same thing happened on Antigua, and Slush is going to go ahead and see that it's still standard play. He sees the count of Marines, and he's got to think that faster tech is going to be hitting him soon.
No, definitely. I mean, all he sees is Marines. There's no Marauders. There's no nothing. It's just some bunkered Marines, you know?
Yes, and RoboBay has been thrown down along with a Ford, so Slush is preparing for that later parts of the game. He wants that Colossi force out. He wants the upgrades to make sure those Zealots can stay alive quite well. Most likely will be an armor upgrade, because it seems to be what he favors even when he goes Colossi. Alright, and Fantasy does have his +1 weapons about 3/4 of the way done, 2/3 of the way done. Don't see any armories on the field yet, or second eBay, as some guys do like to time out their armory and their second eBay so that when that +1 finishes, you start +2, +1. You can even get out ship weapons if you so desire for your Vikings to make them even more effective against the Colossi.
Which we've seen the last guy Slush played do. He actually had, what, +2?
Yeah, he was researching +2 for his Vikings, and it made it so much closer than it could have been. Because Slush really could have rolled if it wasn't for that kind of a presence. So he did really, really well there. Alright, and now we're having more gateways being added, so Slush is getting ready for quite a large push with his Colossi. You can see that his Sandthermal Lance is halfway done, but Fantasy is getting up a lot of units, and it's only off of these 3 racks. This is a very impressive just ability to macro with what you have, because you see how his food count is actually pretty much on par with Slush with very little production facilities.
Oh, definitely. I do agree with you there. Slush is just managing to warp in with really 3 gateways right now and 1 robo. I mean, he's getting all the upgrades. I mean, he's teching really hard, dude. I mean, that's the case of it. I mean, he's playing, I would call it greedy now, to where it's going to make his end game a lot stronger, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Slush is one of those players that's not afraid to throw down cannons inside his main base to defend against drops, so he can do things like have his full army out in the front to defend against frontal assaults. His second force and everything's going down. This is really, really, really showing that he doesn't really want to die earlier on. He doesn't need to win earlier on. He wants to get this game into that later parts of the game where we have seen him thrive. Fantasy is looking like he wants to do a little bit of a pressure attack in the front, but with very little non-marine forces, he can't really engage against significant Colossi forces, so it looks like he'll be going for a double drop instead of a frontal assault.
And there is 2 cannons in the base waiting for that drop, so...
But the Twilight Council of the Force are going to be vulnerable to the drops if they hit from the left. We do have an SCV just running around looking for hidden expansions, which is something that I really like. Maybe even he'll get a hidden expo on his own. That'd be kind of cool, but unlikely.
You also got to remember, if he drops where the Twilight Council and the Forge is, he's going to be stuffed in there. So those 3 Colos actually do a lot of damage.
And on the flip side, Zealots will be less effective too. So we've got an interesting dynamic if we're going to see this drop take place in that spot, which is looking like they probably will, as these 2 medevacs are just chilling over there waiting for their little bit of an opener. And if they can hit before charge is done and snipe that, that'll be a huge deal. Slush is getting his 3rd base, playing rather nicely. But Fantasy is getting out his 2nd starport and a couple more racks. He's going to be able to get a very nice army, and he is getting a base in top left. Oh, that was such wishful thinking on my part. I would not think that would turn out to be a good prediction.
Well, I mean, he's getting the hidden base, and it will play out very well. So,
yes. The thing is, though, it's kind of a risk too, because the hidden bases, if they get killed, especially if you saturate them immediately, it's going to be kind of annoying, as it just becomes a wasted investment. This is a normally timed 3rd in a weird spot, and it could just be a vulnerability for Fantasy. It could end up paying off because you can just get his 3rd a little bit later at the normal spot, which would be the 3rd that Slush would think would be there, but it turns out being a 4th, and that would be a nice thing, but it's kind of banking on a little bit of a risk. The thing that could save him, though, is if he just lifts off and can save that command center on the top left.
It would be nice, but I don't think it's going to get scouted out, honestly.
I don't either. I think Slush is really not prepared to go for that area. He's just now getting that observer across the field. I believe he lost another one because he has seen a good set of the tech structures and everything in the back. That's something to notice about My Intent. They've done a great job of just sniping off various observers and things like that. I mean, Slush has lost a lot in his games against McLeod.
No, he definitely, I mean, that was the key. I mean, if anything, McLeod just kept Slush in that first game. Slush just tried that 6-gate, and it really failed. But what McLeod and Slush did is, McLeod let Slush get to that magic mark. You know, he let him get his upgrades. He let him get everything. He let get, 6 colos. He had Storm. He had, he had literally everything you need in a death ball that you want.
Yep. And here's FantaSy's third base, quote-unquote, when it's actually the good old fourth base that's just being put in the third spot. So it looks like the Subserver is actually now going to get sniped after that conversation. That was actually a nice little touch by FantaSy through space and time, recognizing the importance of getting to that spot. But now FantaSy has got a good, solid army down here. I mean, he really, really does. He has to be careful about where he gets caught. There are a couple of cannons here. That'll be a nice addition of DPS. But Slush has got a fair amount of Stalkers and these Colossi, but he's getting dropped back because of a drop that's hitting some very key structures and a lot of probes. We are watching as these attack at the bottom right's also attacking, but this forging is sniped before it can actually finish the upgrade, and that is so key. Slush is losing so many probes, and his army is completely out of position. His Twilight Council is vulnerable, but that's not getting targeted down at all, and Slush just lost a ton of probes. Look at that, 12 workers killed now for FantaSy.
And that's exactly what FantaSy needed to do. He needed to do a double drop because he needed to just cause damage at this point. And I mean, that double drop was pure damage because Slush's army is less mobile. I mean, he can warp in, but it's less mobile right now, and he's sending back a few to take care of it right now, but not much.
Yeah, he's now lost his natural nexus, and he's taken a lot of probe hits. His economy is in quite damaged, and now we have 77 SCVs versus 55 probes. We have FantaSy with a fully functioning fourth base. His third base is getting a PF there to be super safe, and he's going to be able to transfer those SCVs that were in his basically mined out main and have an incredibly strong economy. Plus, his upgrading is looking to be solid. He's at 1-1, so he can get out an armory and get out his 2-2. That'll be a nice move. He's getting his Ghost Academy out. He'll be able to do a lot. Slush right now, it does have an upgrade advantage. He's about to get his +3 armor, so charge lots are going to be his go-to unit right now.
It's definitely, I mean, charge lots will be great, but as we always said, if there's a big ball of Terran, they don't do that great because they can't get a good surround.
Yeah, it's that 120 food mark-ish that's kind of when they start decreasing in their power. With this amount of Colossi, they're pure tanks. They don't have much other focus beyond that. It makes them a little more acceptable. It's the only reason why Slush doesn't get away with this, but we have a lot of Vikings just taking down the Colossi. Look at that, we have 4 here. He's going to see another one fall, and that is 3 Colossi down. This choke is going to backfire horribly against Slush, and we're going to see him getting put into a position that he does not want to be in, and the Archons are all in the back, and this is a terrible, terrible engagement for Slush, and he is getting ripped apart. Colossi are somehow managing to stay alive, but that top one goes down, and Slush is pretty much just riding the back of the Zealots, the fact that they had such great armor upgrades. He's actually doing a fair job pushing in, and he's actually pushing in even more than I thought he'd be able to.
No, he's definitely doing a great job, but it's going to show the macro here in a second. Because, I mean, really, you got the PF there now. That PF's going to do a lot of damage to his army.
Oh yeah, Slush needs to make something happen there. And we do have, are we going to have more force fields to block it? But the repair is now going to go down. Slush may have enough to take down the PF. He could, yes, the BF does go down. Now we're going to watch SUVs fall, but that's fine. We already know that that FantaSy's got a bunch. He's got the hidden base in top left. Slush is seeing blood that he actually could backfire. We see a good force of macro bio units in the back of the right, plus a ton of ghosts. Are he ready to EMP? And those Archons are going to be very vulnerable. And to choke, he's engaging on the ramp. Beautiful spot. We have a full Kage on the high ground from all the bio units up there. We still have Vikings as well. And looks like Slush is going to try and draw FantaSy back.
He needs to get him out of that choke. That choke is going to be deadly. The only reason that choke would have ever worked is if he had Psystorm.
Yes.
If he had Psystorm, that choke would have worked beautifully, and we wouldn't have had a problem. So,
But unfortunately, Psystorm has not even started. We do have the Templar Archives out. Probably a few Templar on the map somewhere. But as of right now, they're just being used to make the Archons. Slush is he's misreading the game, to be honest. The top left has not been seen at all, and this is being the big thing that's allowing Fantasy to do so much damage. Slush's counterattack was great after he lost his natural and everything, but now we're going to see this army is looking to be quite strong. They are still only 1-1. Slush is at 1-3, and Slush is getting his 4th base, so this is already starting to look like Slush is definitely looking to be in a good position if he can prevent Fantasy from just having an army that would surprise him.
oh, definitely. I mean, but really, you still only have one Colo out on the field, a handful of Archons to do your tank, and here comes some more reinforcing Colos finally.
Yep, there we go. If we saw a double Robo Colossus right now, production, that'd be great. But with these 3 Colossi out, Slush has an opportunity to go for another push. That could be really, really strong.
What Slush needs to do is break down the rocks that are in the front of this base, because he can't afford to just, engage.
Yeah, it's time to get those Colossi range into use, but looks like he's going to go ahead and hook up and go around to what is normally the 3rd base from Fantasy. Looks like he actually lifted off his main command center to go ahead and get that base up, and we see the scans going to be in a good spot. Colossi are at the back doing a nice bit of range attack damage over there, but we see EMPs are getting landed, and Fantasy, he's still behind. He's only 1-1 in the upgrades. His 2-2 isn't close to being done yet. Slush has a nice opportunity right now to go ahead and push in and do a ton of damage, but Fantasy, he's got so many units. Where did all these units come from? It's that top left base coming in with the macro, and now he's going to be able to stim forward, and the Colossi are unsupported now, and Slush all of a sudden in a great spot is no longer in a remotely okay spot.
No, he is definitely way, way, way behind now. It's that hidden base really coming into full tilt now. If you notice, he's basically mined it out almost, which is completely crazy, and now this army's going to have full reign to do whatever it wants.
Yeah, you can see how Slush is down to so little. He's got 10 Zealots and 2 Templar on the field.
No, and he needed to get Psystorm out. He needed Psystorm a lot earlier.
Yeah, that would have given him in the position that he would really want. As of right now, he's going to get this next base shut down, and it's starting to look like this game is really going to be going into MYi.FantaSy's favor, because Fantasy is seriously representing MYi.FantaSy quite well right now, shutting down that 4th base. He's now looking like he may just play the starvation game against Slush. I mean, he's back to 3 bases of mining, well, sort of 2.5 bases mining. Slush has got pretty much 1.5 bases mining, and that's pretty much about it. He's even lost all of his gas in his first main gas geyser.
Yeah, so I mean, he's just going for the star factor, and I mean, he can do that. He's way ahead. There's nothing wrong with that at all at this point.
Yep. A big thing though that we can follow Slush on is the fact that he never got that +2 attack upgrade until now. That would have been a really, really helpful thing for those Colossi, because now we're seeing that Fantasy's at 2-2, and that means that their upgrades are pretty much even. 1-3 to 2-2. It's an addition of 4 when you add each side up. So they're even 4 upgrades to 4 upgrades.
No, definitely.
Alright, but now we see Slush looks like he wants to engage. He's going to go ahead and move in and attack. He's very Zealot heavy, but this is a good army against a good massive charge loss. The Archons and Zealots the Archons and Colossus are now lagging behind the army of Fantasy. He's continuing to push in, and he is just kiting away. The Zealots are dying. The Colossi aren't able to do this damage that they should be doing. They're attacking a lot less than they really could if they were handled with being closer to the Zealots.
No, that's some beautiful micro.
That is game, and that is GG. And by the way, guys, the replays were scrubbed of all text, and that's why we're having to leave the games that the players did GG. Just as a note there. So that does mean that we're now going to be going into the deciding game 3 of a best of 3 of the final series in this ESEA match. We have a really, really important game coming up.
Yeah, it's basically